The history of the fallen is a very lengthy history. From the time of the primal sound fields when individuations moved into the construct, that is, this holographic experience, and races began to establish, is when this drama in dissension began. What's important to understand here is that this particular construct is one of omnipolarity, this which hadn't been done before. In other words, this was experimental. Not knowing the results, this is the outcome. The outcome was strong opinions about how things should be done, ultimately creating dissension, discourse, rebellion, and leaving the Christos path to end up modifying or altering the structure of the design. And to emphasize, this occurred high up dimensionally. This is the reason why we have distortions from 11 and a half dimensions down. This is the reason why we have what is called dark avatars. What is an avatar? An avatar is an identity that is found within the fourth harmonic universe. We have identities throughout this universal construct taking place at the same time. So I have, you have this incarnate identity here on Earth. We have another identity within the second harmonic universe, the third harmonic universe, the fourth harmonic universe, and the fifth harmonic universe, which are soul, oversoul, avatar, and then rishi, taking place all at the same time. Now, the reason for me bringing this up is to emphasize equal responsibility. This is not about blame. This is not about judgment. That just puts us right back to square one and the reason for the problem to begin with. Now, be it that we're in this construct that has within the design this omnipolarity, we either need to have that revised or overcome the limitations. The purpose of this video is not so to learn about this in-depth history, because there's no way that we could even scratch the surface. Even if we had all the records, you would need multiple lifetimes to go over this drama. Why would you even want to do that? The whole point of this video is to empower you in respect to the origin, your personal responsibility in relationship to the fall, and the understanding of what you can do personally about it. So if you listen for yourself within this history, this is going to benefit you a great deal. So let's begin. Okay, so the races that began to digress from their original Christos divine blueprint are the Annu-Elohim, Draconian, Anunnaki, Budhara, Thetans, Wezadek, Wezadrake, and many other black hole races who set forth dominion conquest of the stellar system of our time matrix. Now, stellar system meaning stargates. The Gold Order Seraphine reptilian Omicron race from Dimension 10 Lyra-Vega began to digress and became known as the Fallen Seraphim, the forefathers of the contemporary D10 Orion Draconian Fallen Angelic Legion. Simultaneously, the Emerald Order Amethyst Order hybrid feline aquatic ape Anu race from Lyra Avon also suffered digression and began their quest for universal dominion with the intention of destroying all races but their own and claim dominion out of the time matrix. They adopted the name of Anu and became known as the D11 Annu-Elohim falling angelic legion. Now, the Annu-Elohim created the Sirian-Annunaki to destroy the Christos founders race guardian angelic lineage. And through the progressive perpetual conflict among the Seraphim, which is the Draconians, and the Annu-Elohim, the Anunnaki, which began 250 billion years ago in density 4 Lyra, our time matrix was nearly destroyed. Now, we're talking about the whole construct, and we're referring to the stellar system, which is the stargates. If the stargates are destroyed, the system collapses. This was one intense war. The Anu's destruction of Arimathena's Stargate 12 is the event that became known as the original sin, as all life forms, including the Density 4 Christos founder races, became trapped in the time matrix until the D12 Arimathena Stargate could be reconstructed. Consciousness could incarnate into the time matrix, but not ascend to leave, while the Arimathena Stargate 12 remained damaged. Footnote: in Harmonic Universe 1, we have Earth. In Harmonic Universe 2, we have Tara. In Harmonic Universe 3, we have Gaia. In Harmonic Universe 4, we have Arimathena. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that is the name given for Earth in the fourth harmonic universe. So those who are saying that Earth is called Gaia, well, no, actually it's called Earth, or it's called something else. Okay, enough said. The fallen angelic Anu race that later became the fallen Annu-Elohim, forefathers of the Sirian-Annunaki, intentionally traded their original genetic capacity to hold natural minimum 12-strand DNA template, that is, Christos potential, characteristic of the Christos founder races, for a digressive 11-strand DNA template mutation. Through the removal of the 12th DNA strand template from their genetic blueprint, the Annu-Elohim successfully blocked the Density 5 Brinu founders races from incarnating into the race line. So this freed them up to create a legion of self-contained fallen angelic dominion forces within our time matrix. Their intention was, and continues to be, oppressive, exploiting dominion over our time matrix and its life fields, and the operational control over the 12 primary stargates of the Universal Templar complex in our time matrix. Anunnaki fallen legions are currently attempting to misguide humans and are hoping to digress the human genome into a maximum of 11-strand Anunnaki hybrid DNA template potential, in replacing the maximum of 12-strand DNA template Christos potential that is the rightful heritage of the angelic human lineage. In their misguided contemporary quest for dominion of Earth's stargates, that's what it's all about, folks, right there. Having a way out and utilizing the stargates. By the way, Earth stargates is known as the Hall of Amente. Okay? The Anunnaki fallen angelic legions, their hope is to rob us. We have that what is dormant within us, Christic angelic human race potential. Now, obviously, they're doing this through what? Through covert genetic manipulation. That is through distorted teachings of DNA, bioenergetic field and Merkaba activation, and through hybrid programs. Now, for some of you, that's not news, but I would like to bring this to your attention. There are some who have prominent position in this world. It may not reach the whole world, but it reaches a certain selection of individuals. And what is being propagated is the aspect of DNA being reduced as part of the natural process. And as you can see thus far, that is a digression from the natural process. So, just as a footnote, always take in consideration that if somebody's not giving you the full picture and they're just giving you bits and pieces, not because they're trying to deceive you, it's just because they're misinformed or they've been indirectly indoctrinated and they're speaking from a position of wanting to help. It's just a matter of knowing the truth. And how do you know the truth? You have to have a lot of information and you have to be able to connect the dots. The Freedom Teachings allows you to connect the dots. So the Anunnaki are attempting to perpetrate this deception on humans in order to prevent Earth humans from actualizing the dormant 12-strand DNA potential, through which humans can reclaim the angelic human heritage to serve as conscious guardians of the Hall of Amente Stargates. The Annu-Elohim, Anunnaki, and the draconian seraphim fallen angelic races possesses a digressive maximum of 11 and 10-strand DNA template potential, respectively. As the fallen angelic legions cannot embody the 12th dimensional frequencies of the Marahata, or the Christic current, due to the absence of that 12-strand DNA template. They carry what is considered to be the anti-Christic or anti-Christ genetic code. See, that's where the word Christ comes into this. It is a genetic code. It's part of the coding system within the program. It's not really anybody's name, and it really isn't the definition that you find within the Bible. Now, Christ in the Bible means anointed. This and everything on earth has been tinkered with. Anybody that's been at this for a little while, when I mean by little while, like 5 or 10 years, knows this. You cannot trust the things that have been written, especially when you get into the areas of understanding in regard to the Templar aspect of the construct. In other words, timeline. How to manipulate the timeline. You can go back within the timeline and you can take things out of it. Or you can do things to where they get lost. Or you can misconstrue things by shifting things around. If you look at the Bible is very confusing to some. I see manipulation within it. I see truth in it as well, but it is definitely been hijacked. That's the point that I'm making here. So the words that you see here contemporarily been given different meanings in order to hide the true meaning of the term. It starts to get into the idea of downstepping within tone and frequency, how we get certain sounds and how we get certain words and why they sound the way that they sound here on Earth, and they don't sound the same way. As an example, within the third harmonic universe, is because of the downstepping of that frequency. It changes. And we say certain or use certain terminology in a certain way here, but it doesn't sound like the original tone, the original frequency. Okay, so portions of the Earth human populations carry the 9, 10, and 11 strand DNA template mutations resulting from ancient race hybrid programs with the Anunnaki and draconian fallen angelic legions. All humans and the fallen angelic who choose to do so can reverse the mutate DNA template distortions and bring in the dormant DNA template potentials into activation through self-generated, that is, through self-generated DNA bioregenesis technologies, through which the 12-strand DNA angelic human potential can be progressively restored and activated with the operational DNA. This is precisely what the so-called visiting fallen angelic legions do not want contemporary humanity to accomplish. Now, this should be obvious to some in respect to what has been taking place in the heavens and this conflict that has been going on. These fallen angelics have attempted to keep the guardian angelic nations out of this earth business, right? Their so-called business with earth, while they play us on every extreme level. The amount of suffering that exists because of their manipulation is beyond description. So, while keeping us, who are the angelic human souls, locked into this repeated cycles of reincarnation and blocking our passage of ascension through the stargates. This conflict, this drama that is taking place, is a three-way confrontation. You have the two fallen angelic legions, which is the Annu-Elohim, the Anunnaki, and the draconian seraphim fallen angelic legions, having their own agendas for control of Earth's population, Earth's real estate, territories, and Earth's Hall of Amente stargates. Now, we've been played for a very, 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 very long time. And these fallen angelics have set the stage for this indoctrination that we see to this day, very prominent in the world. That is this. They know if they could continue to motivate the masses of humans to pledge their allegiance to an external figure of God or gods and their divine representatives, as they have been doing since the promotion of the Sumerian father god Anu, that plenty of human specimens would be available for hybrid programs following the end times Holocaust. All the fallen angelics would need to do is to visit Earth in the guise of their promoted holy figures as the end time drama unfolds. As humans robbed of their true power and that of their inner understanding, they are eager for salvation and would joyfully follow wherever the fallen angelics might lead them to begin a new heaven on earth and actualize, that is, the fallens, actualize their long coveted dream of earth dominion. The fallen angelics' intention was and continues to be oppressive, exploiting dominion of our time matrix and its life field, and operational control over the 12 primary stargates of the Universal Templar complex in our time matrix. If the fallen angelic races can gain dominion of Earth's Hall of Amente stargates, they intend to use the Amente stargates to destroy Universal Stargate 12 in Density 4, or Harmonic Universe 4. Still out for blood, still out for revenge, still want to dominate the whole entire construct. Now, if they destroy this Stargate, that is Stargate 12 in Density 4, the destruction of Universal Stargate 12 would effectively seal off from Density 5, or Harmonic Universe 5, Founders Race protection. 11 dimensions of our 15-dimensional time matrix and the manifest life field would become imprisoned in time. We would be subject to the fallen angelic exploitation and dominion, unable to fulfill the natural evolutionary process of ascension. Now, these fallen angelics are on a Grail quest. They're looking for certain objects. These objects relate to the Stargates. These are tools. Some of these tools are known as the rod and staff. For those who may be familiar with the Bible, you've heard those terms, but out of context from the meaning of what they actually are. So if they can find these tools so they can be utilized in respect to the Stargates and to achieve a critical mass population of their hybrid human races, those DNA templates would carry reverse sequenced fire letters. This is insane, folks. This is absolutely insane. Do you realize what is being said here? I'm not saying this is going to happen, but the thing of it is, the reason why the angelic human race was created 560 million years ago, they were created for guardianship, for the prevention of the Antichristos agenda. This is the purpose for which the angelic human race was created 560 million years ago. My point is, this is serious shit. There's been some serious measures taken in order for this not to happen, and it's been an ongoing conflict. So if they were to destroy Stargate 12 and Harmonic Universe 4, 11 dimensions down would now not have the ability to ascend, and everything would eventually go to space dust. Again, the reason for this video is for personal empowerment, not for blame, not for judgment, not for anger. If you have those emotions, let them come forward. Deal with them. I can understand the reason for that. It's necessary to be able to deal with it. Get rid of it and then move on to that which is greater. That which is greater is the true self of who you are. So you're not going to be walking in judgment. You're not going to be walking in blame, because that just puts you in the position that the fallen continue to remain in as long as they seek revenge and their goal objective of dominion. This is about personal responsibility, and there is freedom in personal responsibility. It's not heavy, it's light. It works through love, and love is very light. And it's important to do what you can do, but also loving without attachment. I had a problem with that in my life for the longest time, not being able to have attachment. I thought having attachment was actually truly loving, and the truth of the matter is it's not. At least not here on earth the way things are. The extent of being able to care has its limitations before you get entangled with the problem. If you love so much to where you want to get involved and have attachments, you get drawn in, and next thing you know, you are sucked into the very problem that you were trying to help. So the yoke, if you will, of love is light. The responsibility on a personal level is light. But knowing that if you're to walk in love, that means you're not going to walk in judgment, you're not going to walk in blame, you're not going to walk in anger and emotions for recourse, revenge, as these beings are continuing to do in order to fulfill their quest. So blessings to you. Take this information, be empowered, walk in love, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Blessings to you.